On a Wednesday, Falcons fans, welcome in to Falcons Today by Chad Sports. My name is Moose, and let's get the show on the road. It is our Week 3 preview against the Carolina Panthers. The Dirty Birds travel all the way to the East Coast to take on their division rival. And if you are ready for Falcons versus Panthers, do me a huge favor. Spam those ATLs in the comment section down below. I'm going to give some shout-outs to the people that are spamming ATL and the people that are already in the chat for joining us on this random Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on the East Coast. What is going on? Great to see everybody. Dan, good to see you. Coolin, good to see you. JDDC. Kolb, what's going on, brother? Rashad spamming his ATLs. And here we go already with the disconnection. So here's what I'm going to do, Producer Alper, who's on the ones and twos. I am going to do this from my phone.
From your phone?
From my phone. From my phone.
You're losing internet already?
You're coming in really hot. Maybe turn that down a little bit. There you go. How about that sound? Too low.
Too low?
Right there.
Right there's perfect.
Right there. Maybe just a slight bit higher. The tiniest bit.
How about that?
There you go. Perfect.
How do I sound, chat?
Way too high when you go way up there like that. Just keep it in a nice little low roar. A nice low roar.
You know I'm loud.
I do know you're loud. I do know you're loud. Oh, Khalil Mack's going to IR. Short-term IR. Just in. Just in. So who plays the Chargers next? Oh, the Broncos do. Well, good luck to the Broncos. That's all I got to say, because Khalil Mack is like the only pass rusher that's worth a damn on that team. So,
Still got a good team.
No, they do have a very good team. They're a very, very talented team. All right, let's give some shout-outs here. Jordan, good to see you. Operations manager says, Dirty Birds for life. Is that the ops manager for the Atlanta Falcons? Chris, what's going on, dude? Jonas, good to see you too as well. Kolb, I'm on the way to coach and cross-country meet, but rise up, everybody. Be safe. Jason saying, Moose. What is going on, Jason? It is good to see you. I'm going to try my best here to make sure that we get connected again so that I can see you guys properly. Amir, how are you? And, is that NC show or no show? Moose, who would you rather be starting this weekend in place of AJ? Clark Phillips or D. Alford? CJ Henderson, but if you had to pick between those two, because Clark Phillips has not played at all this year and really hasn't been practicing either because of his injury, I'm going to say D. Alford, but I hate saying that. I really do. I'm going to try and connect again because we're still messing up here. Do me a favor if you haven't done so already and you're just brand new to the stream, welcome in. How about you hit that thumbs up icon? We got 70 people rocking with us in the building. We got to get to at least 25 likes before we start our very first segment that we've got planned for you today. We've got 3 segments planned for you today. Stacy said, doesn't matter. Bryce is going to die. Talking about Bryce Young. Yeah, seriously, Mr. 5'3" himself. He's going to get absolutely swallowed up by this Atlanta Falcons pass rush. Hey, yo, pause.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very, very good point. Before we get into today's preview, I do want to talk briefly about our Deion Sanders jersey raffle. Let's first talk about the people that are already in the raffle, which will be at the end of the month, by the way. The Kofer family, Pegleg, Pinky, Trey, Archangel, Jeebus, Matthew, and Simon Falcons fan are all in for our Deion Sanders jersey raffle giveaway. And I've got good news for all 75 people that are currently rocking in the building with us right now. I'm giving you a mega deal today. That's right. It's all on the hush-hush because these are where the real Atlanta Falcons fans gather. They join on random Wednesdays at the very beginning of the NFL season. If you send in just $10 or higher on today's live stream, I will automatically put you in the raffle. So you will join the other 8 names for the people that will get their duck at the end of the month for the duck race for the Deion Sanders jersey raffle. How cool is that? It just costs $10 or higher to get in on this specific Wednesday. That might change as we get to our Week 3 matchup against the Carolina Panthers, where It costs $5 to enter, but there's no guarantee that you get in unless you're a top 3 spender. So today and today only, if you send in $10 or higher, you're automatically in the raffle. Now let's talk about today's show, shall we? We got our Panthers versus Falcons preview. Of course, we're going to talk about the A.J. Terrell injury, what this means going forward for the Dirty Birds, and also who is a good replacement, plus what Raheem Morris had to say at his press conference. All good things, by the way. All really good things. And then, of course, the Falcons got a steal, but rather 2 steals. I'm going to keep it as vague as that for right now because you will want to stick around for that specific segment. I can promise you it's going to be very, very good. I'm just going to make sure that I reconnect one more time, Mr. Producer Alper, because clearly there's something wrong with this studio or my computer.
It's your computer.
It's my computer. It doesn't.
Because
I
never lose internet in this studio.
You're very right.
It's
are
your
very
computer.
It is my
I
computer.
thought you and Jack got it fixed.
We did for a while. Last week, I had no problems. And then all of a sudden, Sunday, we're in here doing Sunday Night Football against the Minnesota Vikings, and it shit the bed again. And it's been shit in the bed for a lot. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Technology is not my friend. It's not my friend.
No, it's not.
All right, hold on. Let me load up this stream one more time.
While Moose is loading up the stream, we got almost 80 people in the chat right now and only 29 likes. Come on. We can get to 50. We can get to at least 40.
How about this? Let's pick a number. I think 30 is the number to make sure that we can start our next live. 30 is the number to make sure that we start our first segment on live. Yeah, it's rough. I don't know what the thing is. I've tried everything and it just does not. Brett thinks that it's honestly, he's like your computer might not like the port. It just might not like connecting to that one. I don't know what else to do. I have zero internet and I'm connected.
There we go. 40 likes. Let's get it up. Let's go to 50. Let's go to 50.
It's rough. It's a rough time. We've got our ad ops guy, one of the lead producers. Producer Jack Lotteray, and he is trying to help me out here with some stuff, but unfortunately, we've got some nasty stuff going on. Yes, everything looked good, by the way. Everything looked good. Yeah, graphically speaking, everything looked good. I do have my phone up still, by the way, so I can see the live stream perfectly fine because my Wi-Fi's fine. Wi-Fi's totally great on my phone. Well, I'm interested. Do we have an adapter? Well, it could if you had an adapter that plugged into this monitor. Yeah. Yeah. Do we have? But we need one that has it's an iPhone compatibility because I have an iPhone. Because do you know how long the hotspot lasts for? Like 15 minutes. Oh, does it? All right, sorry for the people that are listening to us talk about internet connection. They're probably like, "Can we talk about some Atlanta Falcons football?" I think we can.
Are we good?
I think we can. Almost. As soon as I try to connect one more time, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
Almost.
Now head for the lid. Archangel, good to see you, brother. How are you? Archangel, have you been looking into has he been reading my scripts? Because he's got a pretty good idea of who the steals are. Well, I'll tell you one thing right now. It is not Jack Nelson. I can promise you that. All right, it's not working. So here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to make sure that it literally won't even connect now, like at all. Like it won't even, it's not even letting me on the network.
Can you see your scripts?
Yes, I can. All right. Jeez Louise, man. This is just despicable.
Yeah, Archangel. He's having a lot of Wi-Fi problems.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible. All right, you know what? I'm just going to make sure that I've got my phone handy.
Your handy-dandy phone.
Yes. Am I I was going to say, I can't hear myself in my ear. There we go.
Me.
Jesus, helper. The script.
It has been a while since I've produced.
True. All right. We're going to do this. We're going to make sure that we're fine here on the phone. Yeah, we're good on the phone. All right. You know what? Let's start. We're going to start with the A.J. Terrell injury news, plus the Raheem Morris press conference, what he had to say from Flowery Branch at the Falcons press conference. Just an FYI, it was all really good things. And I don't know how you could say really anything negative about the Falcons' play on that Sunday Night Football game against the Vikings. It was one of the most dominant defensive performances I've seen in at least 3 to 4 seasons from the Dirty Birds. So without further ado, let's get into our A.J. Terrell and Raheem Morris news segment. All right, so we have an update for you on Mr. A.J. Terrell. Raheem Morris, head coach of the Dirty Birds, said he is now week to week with a hamstring injury, most likely meaning he will not play against the Carolina Panthers in Week 3. Welcome in, Dirty Birds fans, to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, your 2025 season host. So let's just dive straight in, shall we? He did not practice today. At the time of this recording, which is Wednesday, he did not practice for the Atlanta Falcons. In fact, I don't even think he dressed for practice. I think he was in his street clothes, just kind of hanging out at the Dirty Birds practice. But remember, he injured his hamstring against the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football. I believe it was in the third quarter. Don't quote me on that. But he did miss the rest of the game. He did not return, meaning to me at least, it was a little bit more severe than we originally thought, because a player of his caliber and a player with his competitive advantage, he would have gotten back in if he could. And the fact that he didn't come back in proved to me he wasn't ready. And usually, if you miss practice, and again, I say usually, this isn't a good sign that you're going to play the next week. I think this is the week, though, that you could end up missing this game. Because if you look at the next 3 opponents, the easiest, and it's not even close, is the Carolina Panthers. Because next week, week 4, you've got the Washington Commanders. Granted, we don't know the status right now of Jaden Daniels, but then you've got the gauntlet in week 5 against one of the NFL's best, the Buffalo Bills. So I'd sit him regardless of if he's ready to play or not against the Panthers. Even if he came to Raheem Morris, even if he went to Jeff Ulbrich on Friday or Saturday morning and said, hey, by the way, I'm still feeling like I can get out there and give you at least 80%. I'd still say, sorry, I don't think we necessarily need him, considering we have plenty of replacements that in a pinch can absolutely get the job done. I won't even say excel. I'll just say they can step in and do their jobs. Who are those players? D. Alford, Natrone Brooks, Clark Phillips, C.J. Henderson, and Mike Ford. Now, let's just start with D. Alford, who's most likely, going to be the one that gets the nod. He didn't play awful against the Minnesota Vikings. I'll give him credit where credit is due. He actually stepped in and played decently. Natrone Brooks, I feel like, is not quite there. Clark Phillips, probably the player that has the most experience to be ready to play and give you a good game, although this year has not really stepped on the field because of his injury, so he's going to be working back into playing shape. And then you have Mike Ford and C.J. Henderson. And the guy that I want to highlight specifically is C.J. Henderson. And there's a couple of reasons why I think you can call him up from the practice squad, activate him, and he can actually do a really good job against this Carolina Panthers defense. What are those positive reasons? Well, how about this? He played for the Panthers. So this is a revenge game for C.J. Henderson. How about a former first-round pick, meaning we know he's got talent. The reason that he's been bouncing around from practice squad to practice squad has been his injury history, not because he has this awful style of play. He knows how to play the cornerback position, and he was pretty decent in the preseason. He had a 62.1 PFF grade. So it was clear that when he was on the field, those quarterbacks, granted third, fourth, or fifth string quarterbacks, they weren't really targeting him. Now, he only did play in 24 snaps, so there's not a huge sample size. But his PFF grade, like I said, was 61.2. His coverage grade, which is what you want to see being better, was a 71.7. Now, his run grade was a 40.7. So you're going to tell me that a cornerback who has been a practice squad player isn't going to do much in the run game? Shocker. I don't need him to. Just get out there, cover your man, and get us a W heading into week 4 so that A.J. Terrell can climb right back into his spot. So I'm going to ask you very quickly, who would you play in place of A.J. Terrell? If you're watching this during our live show, shout out to you. Let me know right now in the live comment section. But if you're watching this during our regularly scheduled programming or recording, make sure you put it down in the comment section down below. Now, coming up, I've got Raheem Morris's press conference sound-off sound bites, some direct quotes about some players, specifically on the offensive side of the ball, that he believes definitely deserved some praise. Spoiler alert, what he had to say about quarterback Michael Penix Jr. Now, before I get into that, let me tell you about today's presenting sponsor, my friends over at PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every single day. But on PrizePicks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it is good to be right. Very, very simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. It is the best way, by the way, to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on PrizePicks. Producer Alpert is that first one on the photo section. If you want to show them, there it is. Beautiful. I took Matt Olson on the more for professional baseball. And here's the cool thing. You can combo different professional sports, baseball and football. I went James Cook on the more for receiving touchdowns or rushing touchdowns. Michael Penix Jr. to throw for more than 216.5 passing yards. And then, of course, my max discount play, Patrick Mahomes, more than half a passing yard. Yours can look just like this if you're a glutton like me and like the more, or it could be less as well. All you have to do is download the PrizePicks app and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. Here's something that I want to start off the press conference portion of this show with. This was awesome. This made my blood get really, really warm and kind of want to run through a brick wall. Raheem Morris, who granted has his faults, said this to open up his press conference. You're not supposed to like the Panthers, and we don't. If that doesn't make you just feel like there's a win coming on Sunday, I don't know what will. So let's talk about the quotes. We'll start, of course, with the quarterback. Here's what he had to say about Michael Penix Jr. He said, quote, I think Mike is growing and developing as our quarterback. He'll do what he has to win. And I want to highlight that and pause right there for just a second. Why? Because he's absolutely right. Spot on analysis about QB1. And what is that spot on analysis? To me, it's this. He absolutely is doing the right thing in terms of his play style. He's not doing too much. If you look at his stats, these aren't eye-popping, but they're not supposed to be. Yes, you played a secondary for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that has been known to get carved up a time or two. I thought he was excellent in that game statistically. He also went down the field, got the Falcons in a position to win the game, and then, of course, Younghoe Koo misses a field goal, and boom, you're 0-1. And then last game against the Minnesota Vikings, he gets blitzed like crazy by Brian Flores. Clearly, it's a spot that he's not used to being in, and he's just trying to get through the game. Well, he makes clutch throws on third down, and he doesn't turn the ball over. Meaning what? Michael Penix Jr. is putting the Atlanta Falcons in positions to win football games, which is something that a lot of other young quarterbacks, specifically in his draft class, are not doing. Caleb Williams? Yeah, laughable. J.J. McCarthy? Holy cow, I don't even know if he's an NFL quarterback. Michael Penix Jr. doesn't need to go out and throw for 335 yards, 3 touchdowns, and have a QBR of 144. He just needs to not turn the ball over and excel when he needs to excel. And that could mean, in the case of the Vikings game, just don't turn the ball over. Let your defense handle it. Let the run game handle it. Now let's move on to the run game. Speaking of, let's talk about Bijan, or as he correctly quoted and corrected the Sunday Night Football crew, he would like to be called Bijan again. So let's just say Bijan. He's definitely the best player in football in my mind. That was Raheem Morris on Bijan Robinson. And I love that from my head coach. Maybe he's being a little hyperbolic. Maybe he's, glazing a little bit. But we'll talk about what Yahoo Sports echoed about the Minnesota Vikings game specifically. Success was found primarily on the outside zone plays, where Robinson was able to decipher which lane to take and maneuver around defenders. His Week 2 success on the ground was a stark contrast to his Week 1 performance, in which he just received 12 carries. And that is, of course, because Zach Robinson kind of shit the bed Week 1 in terms of his play calling. But if you look at the statistics so far in 2025, I mean, the dude is an absolute stud. He's almost got 300 total yards from scrimmage. Now, he will find the end zone more. I promise you that. And going back to what Raheem Morris said about being the best player in football, look, it's such a hard question to answer because there are so many good players at different positions. Is Bijan one of the best running backs in the NFL? Absolutely. Absolutely. Top 2, in my opinion. The only one you could maybe argue is Saquon Barkley. I think he's even better than Christian McCaffrey. He's on the field more. So let me know, is Bijan the best running back in the NFL? I'm going to stake my claim and say no, but I'm going to say he's number 2. I think Saquon Barkley is Saquon. Bijan. That's my bad. That's funny. Producer Alper's making fun of me over there. Like I said, I'll take Bijan at number 2 as the second best running back in the NFL. All right, let's end the episode by having Raheem Morris talk a little bit about the defensive performance. He said it was cool, but at the same time, I've been watching it all preseason. But for the world, it was great, especially in a prime time game. So what he's basically telling you, specifically about the rookies actually, was that he gets to watch these rookies ball out every single day at practice. On Sunday, you really saw this 2025 draft class show out, highlighted by their individual performances. Walker had his first sack. I don't care what the actual statistics say. James Pierce Jr. definitely had a sack. I don't know why they didn't give him that. Maybe it's because he didn't make the initial contact, but he was the one that wrapped up the quarterback. He's what wrapped up J.J. McCarthy and brought him down to the ground. Billy Bowman Jr. and Xavier Watts, who we'll talk about later in this live show, both also had unbelievable performances. All that to say this is what I meant to say. All 4 of these guys, all 4 of these dudes, look like slam dunks. Early to tell, only 2 weeks, I get it. I don't want to be on the glaze train. No diddy. But these all look like they can play. The only one that hasn't so far, and it's because he hasn't stepped foot on the field outside of the preseason, is Jack Nelson. TBD. So who's been the most impressive rookie so far? Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., Billy Bowman, or Xavier Watts? If I had to put my answer right now, it's got to be Bowman. So I'll type my double Bs. But you let me know in the comment section down below or in our live chat. That'll do it for us on this episode of Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and a reminder to all Falcons fans to rise up and be cool. What do you think? How did that go? How did that go? I'm not going to lie to you. And listen, this might be me tooting my own horn a little bit here, but today has been a good day of recording. There's days as a host, and you can do this because Alper hosts our Patriots channel.
Yeah, 28-3. All
right, shut up. You know what? You might get muted. But you can agree with this, Alper, from a hosting perspective. There's days when you got it, and you're like, man, my best stuff is coming out. And there's days where you're like, I just need to get to the end of today.
Well, yeah, that's usually Mondays for me.
True. Mondays are definitely tough. And for me, it's because I lose my voice so much because I get so loud and animated.
See, I was getting loud and animated on Sunday because that game was absolutely bonkers during the Patriots-Dolphins game.
Yeah.
And I didn't lose my voice.
Well, look at you being Mr. Frickin' Cool. By the way, we got 140 people rocking in the building with us, Producer Alper. And a reminder to you that if you want to get in on the Deion Sanders jersey raffle, it only costs $10 today to get automatically entered. So if you remember, we've been doing it kind of like this. It costs $5 to get a raffle ticket, and then you might have the opportunity to get in at the end of the live show. Well, today I'm scrapping that. I'm saying if you send in $10 or higher, you're automatically in. You're automatically in. And it's also a really good way to support the show if you love what we do here and you want more cool stuff to give away during our watch parties. By the way, might give away something on Sunday. Just saying. So $10 or higher, and you are automatically in. I will make sure I write that down. If you want to show that List 8 logo one more time without people that are already in, here's who is automatically in the raffle at the end of the month to win this Deion Sanders prime time, baby, Atlanta Falcons jersey. The Gopher family, Peg Leg, Pinky, Trey, Archangel, Jeebus, Matthew, and Simon Falcons fans are already in. So if you want to get in as well, cost $10 or higher. That's all it takes. All it takes.
Does Peg Leg have a Peg Leg?
I don't know. I know he lives in Arizona. We've corresponded over Instagram.
Ooh, over Instagram.
He was so cool. He was so funny. He messaged me after the first preseason game. He didn't watch the second one, right? So, because he was moving to Arizona. And he messages me and he goes, dude, I'm so sorry I missed the second preseason game. I was in the middle of moving and I didn't have time. And I was like, why are you apologizing for you not being able to watch a show?
Was that the game against the Titans?
Yes, it was. He missed the Titans one. And then the worst preseason game out of all of them were the Cowboys. The Cowboys game sucked.
Ooh.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Go. Oh, it's goal. No, Ghoul. Goal. Goal.
You say you can't speak today? You called him Saquon.
Saquon Barkley. I sound like I'm from England. Oh, this is Saquon Barkley.
I do think Bijan is the best running back in the league.
I mean, he's unbelievable. Yes, you are in Ghoul. Goal. God, I'm stupid. I'm writing it down right now. Ghoul.
You have internet again?
No. This is just my I can still access my doc. I just can't like load up anything from. I'm going to start right now. I'm going to try one more time while we are waiting for our second one. But yes, you are automatically in. He says, am I in? Go Dogs and rise up. Hell of a game from the Georgia Bulldogs against the Tennessee Volunteers, by the way. I don't know if you saw that on Saturday.
It's the only game I watched.
It was
What?
You keep saying the wrong thing today.
What do you mean?
You didn't watch my Notre Dame Fighting Irish
Not really.
lose to Texas A&M?
I watched
I'm still furious
I
about
watched
that.
the last minute. NASCAR was on.
By the way, the Notre Dame game, at the very end, the last touchdown pass that Marcel Reed threw to his tight end, I forget his name, their offensive lineman, swear to God, not even an actual hold, legitimately wrapped our edge rusher up and threw him to the ground, and it was not called. I was blown away.
Well, that's why I texted you, yikes.
Oh, it
Saturday night, because I was like, ooh, they lost.
And I was so furious. I saw that, and I was like, if I have anything, I'm not going to say anything nice. So I didn't say anything at all. All right, let's get into our let's get into our preview. We got 98 people still rocking in the building with us. 72 likes is amazing. Shout out to y'all. And remember, you could be just like Ghoul. If you want to send in a $10 super chat, you will be automatically entered for that Deion Sanders prime time, baby, Atlanta Falcons jersey raffle at the end of the month. Mr. Producer Alper, let me know when you are ready.
I'm ready.
No, you ain't. All right. I'm going to try this last time to connect, and it's trying very hard, and then I'm going to start. I also think it has something to do with the fact that there might be another, like your device is in here. I don't know if that's true or not, but for whatever reason, I just can't. I can't. All right. Let's get into it because it's not working. Here we go. Let's get into our Falcons versus Panthers preview. You want to start that over? That's fine. All right. That was really freaking funny. All right. I haven't seen that in so long. It made me laugh. All right. Sorry. A little behind the scenes stuff. Let's do it again. One more time. Week 3 is basically here, and let's talk about what the Dirty Birds got to do to take on and beat their division rival, the Carolina Panthers, in Week 3 of NFL football in 2025. Welcome in, Falcons fans, to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, so let's go stat for stat to determine the winner of this game. Now, I want to bring up what the Carolina Panthers do well, because they really don't do anything well, and I'm going to touch on that in a little bit. And then I'll talk about what the Falcons need to do on both offense and defense in order to secure the W to go 2-1. Now, before we do that, did I tell you the bosses started that Panthers channel? Swear to God. I didn't know they had 77 fans. But hey, apparently, you'll find out new information every single day. Here's what I need you to do, Dirty Birds fans. We can't stop the Panthers channel from gaining subs, but we can widen the lead. So if you hit that subscribe button, you absolutely keep that last place team down in the dust of the Panthers Now channel. So hit that subscribe button for free Dirty Birds content all year long. Let's talk about the Panthers, and we'll start with their offense, which, believe it or not, doesn't look the worst on paper. It doesn't look good, but total yards per game, they rank 22nd. Passing yards per game, you're probably thinking to yourself, 13th, that's amazing. Well, when you're down 30-0 every single game, you kind of have to throw the ball a lot. Rushing yards per game, obviously that'll be lower because they're throwing the ball so much. So that's 27th. And points per game, this is probably the biggest, most telling stat. They don't score, like at all. 16 points a game, 29th in the NFL so far through 2 weeks. Defensively, they're not much better. Yards allowed per game, they're also 22nd. But passing yards allowed per game, they are actually 11th at 194. But on the flip side, when teams have such a great lead against you, all they're going to do is run the ball. Rushing yards allowed per game is where you really see how bad they are, 26th. And then points allowed per game, 26.5, which is 23rd, bottom half of the league. All that to say this, the Falcons are a far more talented team. And it's not close. You know it. I know it. The paper knows it. All the analysts know it. Panthers fans, all 77 of them, they know it. So I think there is a way that the Falcons obviously win this, and that's by playing their brand of football. And I do realize that on any given Sunday, anybody can actually beat you. You could be the worst team in the NFL going up against the best team in the NFL, and I promise you at some point throughout the NFL's tenured history, the worst team has beat the best team. So you can't take anybody for granted. And there's where their playmakers come in. They're 5 on offense. Bryce Young, if you want to call him a playmaker. Chuba Hubbard, who I actually have a lot of respect for. I do think he's a pretty good running back. Xavier Legette, Tet McMillan, they're 2 young wide receiver core duos. And then Hunter Renfrow, who they just brought in this year, who was formerly with the Las Vegas Raiders. And then with a street team of construction workers last year doing some jackhammering on side streets in Las Vegas. So he was an unemployed NFL player last year and then now is playing again for the Carolina Panthers. Here's the funny truth about everything. Let's talk about the quarterback for them. Bryce Young is like 5'3", maybe 5'4" on a good day. He can't really see over the line of scrimmage. So if you keep him inside the pocket rather than trying to flush other quarterbacks who are bigger, stronger, and faster outside of the pocket, this is actually the opposite. You want to keep him inside the pocket to go and try to throw over these guys that are 6'4", 6'5". Statistically speaking, he's been awful again. 59% completion percentage. That's terrible. 482 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks, and a QB rating of 74.4. I don't know how long the leash is for Bryce Young in Carolina. I know Dave Canales is a pretty young and, offensive-minded, bright guy, but I think even he knows it's time to draft a quarterback. So maybe this is his last year as the Panthers starting quarterback, unless he somehow turns it around. Now, defensively, how do you stop Bryce Young and force him into the pocket, like I just said? Well, you adopt the cage concept. And this is a football technique that kind of dictates a quarterback to stick inside the pocket rather than having him flush outside and beat you if he's more mobile. Well, Bryce Young has to go outside of the pocket in order to see the field. So that's his first thing. Him and Kyler Murray will absolutely flush themselves outside in order to see the field more accurately. So what does the 4-man cage diagram actually do? Well, it takes a 5-man pass rush, but a 4-man cage is what it's called. So basically that right end basically suffocates that shoulder of the quarterback, meaning that left-hand side, that blind side that Bryce Young has because he's a right-handed quarterback, that's going to be taken care of by your right end, followed by your defensive tackle, in this case, Brandon Dorless, to go in like bull rush his guard to try and force Bryce Young to back up inside of the pocket. Then, of course, you've got your nose tackle and your other edge rushers. These are a different combination of different players like Ruka Rororo or Arnold Ebiketie, James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker, etc. What they're going to do is pinch that other side so that he can't get outside. Otherwise, he's going to run into a brick wall. So he has to stick in the pocket with only one player, Brandon Dorless or Rook, going after him. Does this make sense? Good. I'm glad. I'm going to ask you a question really quickly before I get on with the rest of my video. How many sacks will the Falcons defense have in week 3? If I had to ballpark it right now, I'd probably say somewhere in the vein of 3. You can't really get half a sack in a team stat. You can do it as a player. So I'm going to say 3. But optimistically, I'm going to say 4. Either way, let me know in the comment section or in the live chat during today's live episode down below. Coming up next, we're going to talk about the offensive game plan to beat the Carolina Panthers. Now, before I do that, I'm going to tell you about today's presenting sponsor, and that is our friends over at PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every single day. But on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it is good to be right. Very simple to play. Pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. PrizePicks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on PrizePicks. Here's what my lineup looks like for this weekend. I comboed it with some pro baseball stuff. I have the James Cook on the more for rushing touchdowns. I've got Michael Penix Jr. up there on the more for passing yards, and I have got Patrick Mahomes as my max discount play. Yours can look like this. All you got to do is download the PrizePicks app and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. Offensively speaking, how do the Falcons attack this weakened Carolina Panthers defense? Well, it starts by running the football. They are literally one of the worst teams in the NFL over the last 19 games at stopping the run. And Bijan Robinson, we just talked about, is a top 2 back in the league. I mean, I don't need to be a mathematician to know that 2 + 2 = 4. So Bijan plus bad run defense equals big legacy game for Bijan. So the Panthers are horrendous, like I said, at stopping the run. Bijan is going to cook. Let him eat. I expect a very run-heavy game plan from Zach Robinson, just like they did against the Minnesota Vikings, although for different reasons. The Vikings blitz a lot. The Carolina Panthers just suck. So outside of that, that's kind of my major plan A for the Dirty Birds. Now, I will say this. There have been a couple of areas where you can't take the Carolina Panthers completely for granted. They are 9th in NFL red zone defense. I mean, that's pretty interesting considering there's a lot of scoring that's done on this defense. But regardless, they have this bend but don't break mentality, meaning over the middle of the field, they are just absolutely awful. How do you combat this? More designed runs in the red zone and methodically moving the ball in a position to score. So when you're inside the 20-yard line, don't just try to air it out and make it look pretty. Stick to your game plan. Pound the rock. And when they move up to try to stop the run, because they eventually will, then Michael Penix drops back, throws a slant to Darnell Mooney, or a stick route to Kyle Pitts, or even a slant or a back shoulder fade to Drake London. Either way, you should have the upper hand on offense against the Carolina Panthers. Let's talk quarterback. Michael Penix Jr. Again, this feels like he could have a really big game, but I don't need him to, because you don't need to throw the ball that much, as I alluded to. The Falcons, excuse me, that's supposed to say the Carolina Panthers. My bad. The Carolina Panthers have only generated 15 pressures on opposing quarterbacks. You don't have to go to that, producer Alper. You can just bring me up full screen. The Panthers have only generated 15 pressures on opposing quarterbacks, meaning they don't get back there and make the quarterback's life a living hell. So Michael Penix should have plenty of opportunities to sit back, read the field, go through his progressions, and make an accurate and on-time throw. I'm expecting 235 yards, 1 or 2 touchdowns, no picks, get in and out, win that game, and save your best game for the Commanders or the Buffalo Bills. Let's go back to the pressure rate for a second, because I did just talk about how bad the Carolina Panthers are at defense. I showed you this chart yesterday, but I'm going to show it to you again. What you want is to be top left where the Seahawks are. The next best place to be is that top right quadrant. Then the third best place to be is probably that bottom right, and then the worst place to be is that bottom left, or vice versa, however you want to look at that. Maybe, actually, the more and more I think about it, the more and more that would look awful if you were bottom right, because that means you're blitzing and still getting no pressure. So you'll go top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Well, you can see the little Carolina Panthers head down there. They're close to the bottom left. So they definitely do not put pressure on quarterbacks. So do more of what the defense gives you. Take what you are given. If they're giving you time in the pocket, take time in the pocket. Make sure that you go through your progressions. Don't try to force balls. Don't be a hero. 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, right into week 4 at 2-1. If you do that, my friend, everybody, including myself, is going to be very, very happy. I'll end today's episode by saying this. There's a reason that FanDuel, who is one of the biggest names in sports gambling, basically listed the Carolina Panthers as the worst team in the NFL in their recent power rankings heading into week 3. The Dirty Birds, by the way, are at 15th according to FanDuel. So they've moved up quite significantly. And I think that's a really good spot to have them, at least right now. You have to have them in the top 15. I don't know yet that you could have them inside the top 10. A quick reminder that we are stomping on the necks, not only on the field, but on the YouTube channel of the Carolina Panthers. So make sure you hit that sub button and grow that lead even larger than the 39,000 it already is. Sweet. Sweet. Cool.
They put the Panthers last?
Nick says, here's what's funny. I'm reading off my phone because I can't get into my thing, whatever. He goes, Nick Baldo says, as a short king myself, Bryce Young is 5'10". I agree we need to keep him inside the pocket, but don't call him 5'4". He is average height. I obviously know that Bryce Young is not 5'4". That's me being hyperbolic and kind of an asshole. So
you're like 5'4".
I'm 5'9". But see, I also understand the joke.
I'm 5'10".
Yeah, you're slightly taller than me. I'm literally not an inch above 5'9". I'm exactly at 5'9".
I still don't think the Panthers are the worst team.
Who do you think is the worst team right now?
The Dolphins.
Well, the Patriots almost lost to the Dolphins. Well, so what does that say about the Patriots?
Division matchup, and we can't win in
stop.
Miami.
You cannot say if the Falcons go out and they beat the Panthers 21-20, I'm not going to be the happiest camper. I'll be happy that they won, but I won't be happy because the Panthers should not be a 1-point underdog.
Division matchup. Division matchups
They're not
always
good.
Close. Always close. Would not shock me if the Raiders ended up beating the Chiefs this season.
Well, the Chiefs don't look good at all. Granted, they've played some really good teams, but
the Chargers and the
yes,
Eagles.
what I said, they've played really good teams, but the Chiefs do not look nearly as good. They're still going to be a playoff team, but I bet you they only win 10 games. 10-7. Simon, what up, dude? Good to see you. How are you?
Simon says.
Simon says he's a big fan of the show. I'm a big fan of Simon Says. All right, we got one more really fun segment planned for you, all about the draft steal. Hey, we're back in. I think. Oh, no, we lost it again. Damn.
Jose Santana says the worst team is the Aints. Period.
Yeah, the Saints do suck, too.
Saints suck.
Although,
look at their 23rd on this list. That's not right.
I will give them one bit of credit where credit is due. Just one. Just one. Here's the one. Spencer Rattler played a really good game against the Cardinals. That was it. That's it.
Whoa.
He did. He threw for like 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, at a QB rating of like 112. He played well. But here's the thing. Even when he plays well, they still don't win.
So did Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones played well.
Case closed.
Why can't you say that a player play? These are all professional quarterbacks. All of them have the talent to be in the NFL, minus J.J. McCarthy. I feel so bad for J.J. Not because of what the Falcons did to him, but the fact that like he's taking the brunt force of it right now, man. He really is.
Welcome to the NFL, buddy.
All right, how about this? We're at 86 likes right now. Let's try to get to 90 before we start our next. Let's get to 90 likes. That's 4 likes away.
Nice close.
Draft steals coming up next. The 2 biggest draft steals, in my opinion, maybe in the NFL. Maybe in the NFL. Yeah, just take a look at that, by the way. If you want to, can you make that a little bit bigger? Can you take it full screen real quick. Bring me on. Yeah, bring it up full screen, and I'll play weatherman.
Of the picture of what's his face?
No. The power rankings. What you want have on screen. Yeah. Yeah, bring that full screen if you can. There we go. And I'll play weatherman. So you can also bring me up.
You'll play weatherman.
And take a look right here. We're going to make bring me up.
Yeah, I'm just putting it.
Okay, got you. There we go. Take a look at this. This is the NFL Power Rankings according to FanDuel heading into week 3. The Falcons currently sit at 15, which I believe is a pretty good spot for them right now. I maybe have them slightly higher based off of that defensive performance. And when I say slightly, I mean like no higher than like 13. But I think, I obviously think that this is a top 15 team right now. I cannot believe the Ravens are in first.
The Lions at 2?
Okay, they just beat the shit out of the Bears. I don't want to hear about how the Lions are good.
They lost week 1.
Exactly. They scored 6 points week 1.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
How are the Packers not above them?
Did you see Big Cat's rankings where he said, "Are they good or did they just beat the shit out of the Bears?" That was the tier that they were in. I agree, Kevin. The Packers should be at number 1. They look unbelievable.
I don't pay attention to any Barstool stuff.
All right, here we go. We got 92 likes. We're good to go. Let's rock and roll. Oh, that's Millie rock and roll. Amon says those rankings are ass. Well, the Bengals are screwed because Joe Burrow's out for 3 months. He won't even be. They said he might be back for like week 15. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love everybody's in the comment section right now going absolutely ballistic on the. This is good. I always like putting up the power rankings so everybody can throw their opinions in. Amon says these rankings are ass. JDDC says this list has to be a joke. The Eagles over the Chiefs? Yes. Oh, no. He says, sorry, Chiefs over Eagles. Yeah, no, that's crazy. I was going to say, yes, the Eagles should absolutely be over the Chiefs, but they're not. FanDuel wrote these rankings, not me. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about our 2 major steals. By the way, one more quick time, I'm going to remind you that if you send in $10 or higher, you are automatically in to the Deion Sanders jersey raffle at the end of the month. Usually, we give away raffle tickets to see if you can qualify to be a finalist. Today, if you send in more than $10, I'm automatically entering you. Automatically. All right, you ready? 1 second, says producer Albert. Ghoul says, okay, I'm not betting with FanDuel. Fair enough. These rankings are not good, in my opinion. There's a couple of really good ones. I really do like where they put the Falcons, but I honestly cannot believe that the Lions are at 2, and the fact that the Vikings are at 16 is laughable. It is laughable. They suck.
Amon says we need some Chat Sports Power Rankings. We do.
We do have them. We put them out on our main channel every single Tuesday. So if you want to go take a look, actually, we just put out our video yesterday. Our Steelers host, Jack Sperry, filled in for our main host, Tom Downey, who is on paternity leave. So he's on paternity leave this entire week. He'll be back on Sunday for the Cowboys versus Bears game. All righty. 138 people in the building. Let's talk about the two biggest draft steals maybe in the entire 2025 draft class as a whole. Terry Fontenot, I have to give you a clap, a little round of applause, if you will, because as of right now, and granted, it is still early, you are looking like you nailed the 2025 Atlanta Falcons draft. Welcome in, Falcons fans, to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and on today's episode, I'm going to tell you the two major steals that the Falcons got in the 2025 draft class, but I'm going to go one step further. These might be the two biggest steals in the entire NFL draft class. I think you know who I'm talking about. Let's start with the first one. Billy Bowman Jr. I was on the hype train before the season started, and I'm not going to lie to you. I have big-time visions for this kid. He looks ridiculous. And if you have already loved this Atlanta Falcons draft class so far, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up icon. If you have thought that every single player, even Jack Nelson, has done well so far, I want to see your support for these dirty birds. Hit that thumbs up icon and help grow the channel. So let's go back into talking a little bit about Billy Bowman. This is what one of my favorite Atlanta Falcons blogs called Blogging Dirty had to say about Billy Bowman. If you haven't already, give it a great read. It's awesome. It is awesome. His pick was an ideal example of the traits that he defined in his college career. Quickness, vision, and outstanding instincts in open space. The rookie didn't just get his hands on the football, he secured it, flipping possession in a critical moment for the Atlanta Falcons defense. At Oklahoma, he was one of the nation's most dangerous defensive backs, finishing second in the country with 6 interceptions in 2023, 3 of which he returned back for 6. The ball hawk production wasn't a fluke, and Bowman consistently demonstrated the ability to diagnose plays, anticipate throws, and punish quarterbacks for testing him in tight windows. Eloquently and Shakespearean-like, well put, I think is the best way I could say that. Words are not my forte in this episode. But what is the good stuff that we have seen on tape? Because you can't just go off of what you're reading. Let's talk about the eye test. What have we seen from Billy Bowman so far? The sideline-to-sideline range. So his ability to not only play at the sidelines, right? Like right before you get out of bounds, but also over the middle of the field. We're talking from one sideline to the other. That range is unbelievable. His short area quickness is also really, really good. His ability to close out on receivers. So when he does get beat on a route and they catch something, he's so quick to wrap them up and tackle them. And he's also got incredibly fluid hips, and he is sticky in man coverage. All 4 of these things have led me to believe that Billy Bowman right now is never, or at least for this season or going forward, going to give up that nickel cornerback spot, barring any major injury. The statistics also prove this. 10 tackles, 2 PBUs, 1 interception, and a coverage grade of 69.0. And in case you haven't seen a lot of PFF stuff, a 69 grade in coverage is actually really, really good. Above 70 is like the standard, so he's right at the standard of NFL coverage grades. And he's only a rookie, so he's already performing like your average NFL corner when it comes to his coverage, but has also shown the ability to jump routes, be sticky in coverage, has great hips. All of the things that I just listed have led Billy Bowman to already being a more than productive player for this Dirty Birds defense. Now, I will say, because I don't want to just glaze Billy Bowman this entire time, he's not perfect. Where can Billy Bowman improve? There is one area specifically that I talked about not only before the season started, but also something that I've seen on tape. He tackles way too much with his arms. He needs to start wrapping up better. Now, this obviously is a size and strength thing. I believe he needs to put on a little bit more muscle because as he tries to bring down guys with his arms, he's clearly not as strong as some other nickel corners. But if you're telling me the only thing he has to do is put on like 10 pounds in order to start wrapping up better, I'm totally fine with it. That's like the least of my concerns. And the reason I say that he needs to put on a little bit more weight is because even this year, he's going up against some big-bodied pass catchers. All of these guys he will play in 2025 or have played. He's already played Mike Evans, Keon Coleman, Deebo Samuel, Tet McMillan, Trey McBride, the tight end for the Cardinals, who they play later on this season, and of course, like I just mentioned, Mike Evans. All of these guys are thick players, guys that are strong, lower center of gravity. They will take you with them when they get the ball in their hands. So if I had any advice to Jeff Ulbrich and Billy Bowman, it's put on a little bit more weight and just wrap up. Start wrapping up better. And once you do that, I don't see any other holes in your game, at least at this point. So I will ask you to grade Billy Bowman through 2 weeks. Let me know in the comment section down below. A, B, C, D, or F. I have to give it an A. I have to give it an A. He's been outstanding so far. And I get it. Week 2, there's a lot of football left to be played. But from what I've seen so far, it's been really, really good stuff. Now, coming up, I'm going to tell you about the other draft steal who's also on the defensive side of the ball because the Falcons spent majority of their draft picks on the defense. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you about today's presenting sponsor, and that is my friends over at PrizePicks. Look, you and I make decisions every single day, but when it comes to PrizePicks, you can actually get paid to be right. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it is good to be right. Very simple to play. Pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. My lineup looks like this for this coming weekend. James Cook, more. Michael Penix, more on the passing yards. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes on my max discount play. I'll take the more on the half a passing yard. I'm a glutton. I love the more. But you can make less or whatever combo of picks that you would like with PrizePicks. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Let's talk about the other draft steal. Xavier Watts, the rookie safety out of the University of Notre Dame. Boy, could they use his help right now. That secondary for Notre Dame is dog water. Let's talk about the Falcons safety, who has also been outstanding. And the reason that I say I'm more impressed with Billy Bowman is because self-admittingly, and as a homer, I said Xavier Watts was going to be great. I have watched this kid play every single snap at Notre Dame since he got there. I know how good he is. So that's why I have to say I'm not nearly as impressed because I've already seen him do this type of stuff. But the stats, let's just talk about him, have been great as well. 8 tackles, 3 pass breakups, 1 interception, and a coverage grade of 78.8, which is really, really good. I went out on a limb before I started this channel, and I had said, and I quote, Xavier Watts in 2 years will be a top 3 safety in the league. That was my hot take. And so far, I don't know. Looks like I'm kind of proven right. Well, it's not just me talking about how good he is. His defensive coordinator, Mr. Jeff Ulbrich, said the exact same thing that I'm saying now. You saw the exceptional ball skills, instinct, feel that he's got. Now we just have to refine it and just keep working with him. And the beauty of Xavier Watts is he doesn't, and I'm getting to know him as we go here, but I feel like he's a guy that will never be satisfied. He's just one of those players that continues to push to get better and better and better. That's dangerous. Perfect explanation. Beautifully and eloquently put. Refine the skill. I did say that one of his weaknesses is that he doesn't have that super refined skill. Although all of what he does is really good, it's not perfect in one specific area. So his coverage was good, not great. His athleticism was really good, not great. Do you see where I'm going with this? And if we just talk about, that's not the correct one there, Producer Alpert, that's fine. Don't worry about it. That's okay. Don't worry. One of the things that I had said about Xavier Watts was that he has a tendency every so often to, I don't want to say give up on plays, but like when he gets frustrated, there it is right there. Boom. Put that up there. The elite anticipation is a pro. I'm going to start over here really quickly. Rewind it. He's got that elite anticipation and coverage. His ball skills are well above average and willingness to climb into the box. He can be overly aggressive at times. There was one specific play against I want to say it was against the Minnesota Vikings, where J.J. McCarthy had a play action spot over the middle of the field, and Justin Jefferson absolutely made Xavier Watts look foolish. But we're talking about the best wide receiver in the league, second best if you count Jamar Chase. And it's going to happen. Like, you're going to get overly aggressive sometimes. You're going to try and bite on something you shouldn't bite on, and you're going to get cooked. It happens to every single player in the NFL. But all that is negated by this one fact right here. Watts is currently the highest graded Atlanta Falcons defender in 2025. A rookie is your highest graded defender, and you got him in the third round. I mean, I'm not going to say that, like I said, I'm not going to brag about myself there, but if I was going to toot my own horn, toot, toot, that would be it right there for my Atlanta Falcons prognostications. So the draft steals are as follows. Billy Bowman, who you got in the fourth round, looks exceptional for his draft stock. And Xavier Watts is already the highest graded Atlanta Falcons player on defense. Looks like 2 steals to me. Hats off to Raheem Morris. Hats off to Jeff Ulbrich, and a special round of applause to my guy, Terry Fontenot, because, like I said, it all looks really, really good. Even Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. are really starting to come into their own. The only one that we don't really know about is Jack Nelson, is because he hasn't played. And based off of what he did in the preseason, is going to take a little bit more time to develop. But outside of that, looks great to me. That's going to do it for us on today's Falcons Today episode. A reminder to like the video if you haven't, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and as always, be cool. What's up? Well, oh, okay. Okay. All right, we'll give them 5 more minutes, Producer Alper, to get their last-minute super chats in, and then we'll end today's show. How does that sound? Good to you? Good to you. Got 146 people in the building. This is your last shot to get automatically entered to win that Deion Sanders jersey raffle. Usually, like I said, it costs $5 to get a ticket. Today, if you send in $10 or higher, I'm automatically entering you. That's all you got to send. $10. Which means, effectively, you could win a Deion Sanders jersey for $10. A jersey that probably costs somewhere around $130, $140, you could get for $10. Did it really? Oh, did he? Okay, got you. I need to get myself a Xavier Watts. I need a Xavier Watts jersey. Like, I need air to breathe. You got the red one? You got the throwback? Oh, that's nice. What was that? What year was that? Like 1996? Oh.
That's the 80s. The 90s Patriots jerseys are dope. Or the pinstripe.
That's what I said. Did you get the 90s?
No.
Oh, so was it
red,
just
the red 80s throwback?
Oh, the red 80s throwback.
The Pat Patriot.
Got it. Yeah, they sucked in the 80s, didn't they? No, they went to a Super Bowl.
They lost to the Bears.
That's right. They did. 85 Bears defense. Greatest defense ever. Kevin says he wants a Kyle Pitts jersey. Maybe we'll give away a Kyle Pitts jersey at some point. Oh, there it is. Jose Santana. You got it, Jose. I'm putting Jose in.
No way, Jose. Yes way, Jose.
Jose comes in with a $20 super chat. Jose, you are a legend, my guy. He said, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Today.
Look at me. Gotta be Santa Field. That's good stuff. Captain Moistbeard, which is a great name, by the way, says J.J. McCarthy's jersey is getting folded like flags this weekend. Rip. That's funny. Jose, appreciate you, my guy. You're an absolute legend. Thanks for getting in and sending your $20. Your support means a whole lot to us. It really does. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes to get your last second super chats in.
3 minutes.
Remember, it's just $10. $10. Look at me, gotta be center field.
You want to hear a funny stat?
I don't, but sure.
Jalen Hurts has more tush pushes this season than passes
Dude,
thrown behind 5 yards.
Jalen Hurts, can we be honest about Jalen Hurts? He is an athletic freak. There is no doubt about it. He is not a good quarterback. Pure passing quarterback. He is not good. I'm sorry, he's not. Lab says Moose got pipes. I've been known to be the songbird of my generation.
Yeah.
It's like a combination of Jesus and Fergie.
I don't let people hear me sing.
Go-to karaoke song. Ooh.
I let people choose it for me.
Oh, I got it. I know what mine is. Heading down south to the land of the pine. I'm thumbing my way to North Carolina. Stand on the road and pray to God I see headlights. You know that song?
Yes.
Who sings it?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, yes, you do. Stop it.
Just know it's Wagon Wheel.
It is Wagon Wheel.
Yeah.
Darius Rucker. Hootie and the Blowfish. Dude.
Yeah, he's Hootie. He's not Darius Rucker.
He's been Darius Rucker for like 20 years.
He's Hootie.
He hasn't been Hootie since 1998.
And that's the last time I've listened to him. He's Hootie. He is Hootie.
Thank you, Jose. Jose knows. 2 more minutes. Just 2 more minutes. 3:10. We're cutting it off.
2 minutes.
If you want to get your how about this? If you send in a 20, I'll sing another song for you. If you
I'll sing a song.
If you send in, no, we don't want to hear you sing. If you send in another 20, I'll sing a song for you before we end.
I'd like to sing a song.
This is a song for the broken-hearted.
It's my life.
I made it down the coast.
Rise up!
There it is. There it is. I will win. I will win. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, hey, mama, rock me. I freaking love that song.
I don't like country.
Here's the fun fact, by the way. I know that it's weird. You want to hear? Okay, by the way, last thing I'll do, unless we get another super chat. I know it's weird. I can sing in front of people when they're not looking at me. So, like, I know that there's no one in here other than you. So, like, I know they're watching me sing. I know they're listening to me sing. But when people are staring at me, well, I can't do it.
You can't do karaoke?
Not unless I'm drunk. If I'm drunk, I can do it. If I'm drunk, I can get up in front of anybody and sing anything.
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
You got to sing a song as Herbert. He loves to mow the grass. He loves to rake the leaves. I cook like Betty Crocker, and I look like Donna Reeves. There's plastic on the furniture to keep it nice and clean. Someday I know somewhere we'll go, somewhere that's green.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, Peter. That's really good stuff.
Peter.
Oh, Peter. That's great
Peter.
stuff. All right, let's get out of here. I don't think anybody else is going to come in with another super chat. So, shout out to I Will Win, who sent in his $10 super chat. If you already have not hit that sub button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to give you Atlanta Falcons content all day, every day. Oh! We got a riser! The $50 super chat! Jose Santana! Bang! The last minute heave, the buzzer beater. Put the pressure on him for that jersey. You know what? I got to add him again one more time. Woo! I know he's entered, but I got to add a little extra secret sauce there for Jose.
A little bit of secrecy.
A little bit of secret sauce there, like a really secrety sauce.
Secret?
Like a lot of secret sauce. All right, good stuff. Appreciate y'all for joining. It's been a great, great Wednesday to hang out with you. I think that's about it. Jose, you're an absolute legend, my friend. Thanks for getting in with the $50 super chat. Go Dirty Birds. Put pressure on to win that Deion Sanders primetime, baby. Win that jersey. All right. Let's get on out of here. As always, Falcons fans, rise up and be cool.